Hello, my little nightmares. It is me, Queen Nightmare, and I literally spent 10 minutes reading a fanfiction I already read. And I was like, this sounds familiar because it was talking about, if you ever remember my Drarry one-shots, it was by this person called, I think it's Carmi555, and in this one of them, it talks about, you have to make a child a civilized human being, and they call him the Lion Boy. And I was like, this is the Lion Boy story, isn't it? Because he tries to help him and not be in trouble because he did something. Yeah, let's move that. Edit reading list. I need to move this. You won't move. Gosh darn it. Give me this. I'll move it all right. Read already. There we go. Out of my way. Okay. Now I have to... How about this? You'll never guess what happens. The Vampire and the Werewolf sequel. Oh, it's number 797 on the cringe scale. Oof. I don't know how. Here we go. A big surprise. An hour after they got to the hospital wing, Draco was sitting next to Septimus, waiting for him to wake up while Professor Snape left to go back to teaching potions. The next morning, Septimus, it sounds like Stardust, wakes up and groans in pain. What happened? Septimus asked with a soft voice. You're finally awake, Draco said, and starts crying while he hugs Septimus. 2 minutes later, Madame Pomfrey walks in. Mr. Snape, you're finally awake, she said, somewhat excited. Madame Pomfrey, what's wrong with Septimus? Draco asked. Worried something terrible was wrong with Septimus. Well, Mr. Malfoy it appears that your soulmate is pregnant. Oh, jeez. She says, with a tone in her voice. That sounded like she was going to explode at any moment. What? Septimus stuttered in shock. Are you serious? Said Draco, also half in shock. Wait, what's the other half? Like going to kill someone? Lost my place. Yes, he's almost a week into his pregnancy, Madame Pomfrey said, and then left the room to see if Septimus was all right. No, wait, what? Left the room for a while. After school, Professor Snape came back to see if Septimus was all right. Septimus, are you all right? Professor Snape asked in concern. I guess so, Septimus said, with shock and fear and sadness and a little bit of happiness and joy in his voice. Well, what did she say? What's wrong? Snape asked. Well, said Draco, preparing himself for the worst. Well, what? Said Snape, getting frustrated with him stalling. All of a sudden, Septimus whispered something to Snape. Something, but Snape didn't hear what he said. What was that? Snape asked. Please don't be mad, said Septimus. I won't. Just tell me what's wrong. The room just got quiet for a moment. Then Septimus spoke, breaking the silence. I'm pregnant, Septimus blurted out and burst into tears. Really? Professor Snape asked in shock. Yes, Madame Pomfrey said he's almost a week into pregnancy. Draco said, comforting Septimus. Septimus? Oh boy. Oh boy. Severus said in a calm tone. You probably hate me now. I'm sorry, Septimus said, crying. Oh, I don't hate you. I don't hate you, son. I'm a little upset that you were stalling instead of telling me right away, Snape said, hugging the crying 15-year-old. He's 15? Oh, okay. This isn't the 1800s. Whew. Okay. We got this. Madame Pomfrey said that you can leave now. Madame Pomfrey said that you can leave now. Come, you two, he said. A month later, during winter break, P.S. Draco's parents already know about the baby. Septimus, Severus said questionably. Yes, father, answered Septimus. I know you probably are going to hate this, but do you want to see your Aunt Petunia? Severus asked. Well, she is family, and so is Dudley and Uncle Vernon. They have the right to know, said Septimus, sighing. All right, we leave early tomorrow morning. Scorpius, like we're reading the other story, Severus said. All right, said Septimus. The next morning at the Dursleys' house, they knock on the door. Come in, said Uncle Vernon. They walk in and see Dudley asleep on the couch, but there was a boy that looked a lot like Dudley, but just skinnier. Dudley? Said Septimus. Softly, Dudley got a fright and fell off the couch, and the other boy, who looked the same age as Dudley, also woke up. Yes, said Dudley, still half asleep. Who's the boy? Asked Septimus. Then Uncle Vernon came into the living room and started explaining to Septimus, Draco, and Severus that Dudley was a triplet, but him and his siblings were born too early and weren't developed enough when they were born. The only one who was perfectly healthy was Dudley, while his somewhat identical brother and sister weren't Dudley's brother. Weren't. Dudley's brother Daniel's lineages weren't fully lungs. It looks more of a lineage spelling than anything. Lungs weren't fully developed, but their sister was much worse. She was smaller, weaker, and more skinnier than her brothers than her brothers. Don't say than, it's then. Than her brothers. They're right. I just can't read. My fault. Blame me. And had more problems that were more serious. Their sister, Devon Lily's lungs, heart, kidneys, bone tissue, and her bones weren't fully developed, and she was and still is on life support to this day. Where's Aunt Petunia? Septimus asked. She's at the hospital with Devon. Vernon said with sadness in his voice. "Oh, when will she be back? There's something I need to tell all of you," Septimus said. "I don't—" Before Vernon could finish his sentence, his phone rang. "Hello? What?" said Vernon, with a shock and sadness in his voice. "Okay, bye." He hung up the phone, then turned to the boys. "Boys?" he said with sadness in his voice. "Yes," said the brothers, questioningly in unison. "Your sister went into shock and almost lost her life. She might not make it through the night or the next few hours." The boys just sat on the couch in shock. "And she needs some expensive treatment, which we cannot afford." The brothers just sat there with no response and started crying silently to themselves. "Uncle Vernon, I'm so sorry," Septimus said. "It's okay. Your aunt, myself, and Dudley are sorry for everything." A while later, Aunt Petunia came back in tears, and after Septimus told them the news, the Dursleys were happy for them. "Can Draco and Septimus stay with you for a while?" "Oh, can Draco and Septimus stay with you for a while? I'll be back soon," Severus asked. "All right," Petunia said. Little did they know, Septimus went to see their daughter in the hospital. She was so pale and fragile when Snape went to see the daughter in the hospital. She was pale and fragile. Then Snape went to the receptionist and paid for the treatment, and also used a spell on her to help her get better. A week later, Severus, Draco, and Septimus, I want to call him Scorpio, went to St. Mungo's because Snape offered to help with a patient that was in a coma for 5 months. After Snape was able to wake the teen patient up with a potion, one of the nurses said that the boy had a visitor, when all of a sudden Septimus recognized the visitor as Victor Crumb. Oh, him. "Hey, how are you, Sirius?" "Sirius? What?" "Oh, Professor Snape, thanks for helping him," said Victor. "You're welcome, Victor," Snape replied. Hi, Victor, how are you?" said Septimus. "Hi, Septimus. I'm good, and how's things going with Draco?" "Good." "Good," said Draco, before his boyfriend could reply. "Hey, Draco," said Crumb. "Hi, Crumb," said Draco. "Professor, my parents wanted to remind you and the Mollies about the meeting concerning the war," said Crumb. "Oh, yeah. The war's still going on. It's about to go on." "All right. Thanks for the reminder, Victor. Now we're watching Yuri on Ice. I'm not. I'm actually watching Fruits Basket. The 2019 version, not the 1990 version. Yeah, I know, it's been that long. It's weird. "All right, thanks for the reminder, Victor," said Severus. I'm just not doing accents at the moment because there's a lot of reading. You should see how they space some talking and stuff like that. No problem, Professor. After that, they went to visit the Dursleys. When they were inside the house, they could hear Dudley and Daniel upstairs screaming at the TV, but Uncle Vernon nor Aunt Petunia were there. Draco and Septimus went upstairs to say hello to Dudley and Daniel when Aunt and Uncle Dursley came in. "Oh, hello, Septimus, Draco, and Severus," said Petunia, holding a little girl who looked like she was 23. "Aunt Petunia, who's the girl?" Septimus asked. "Well, Septimus, meet Devon. She's the girl Vernon told you about?" said Petunia. "Wow, she's so tiny and pale," said Draco in shock and disbelief. "We know. We've been thinking about redecorating Dudley's room so that they each have a space that suits all of them. When we have enough money, but not enough money and I'm pregnant," said Aunt Petunia, laying Devon down on the couch. "Really?" Septimus said in shock. "Yes," she replied. "Well, Petunia, I was planning on going with Septimus and Narcissa because they want to go shop for baby clothes since Narcissa is also pregnant. Do you want to go instead?" asked Snape. "I would love to, but we don't have money for it," said Petunia. "It's okay. I'll pay for it," said Snape. "Really?" said Petunia. My dad's making noise. Where am I now? Yes, replied Snape. "Thank you, Snape," said Petunia. "You're welcome," he replied. The next day, Petunia, Narcissa, and Septimus went to the mall to shop for baby clothes, when all of a sudden Narcissa sees a familiar face. "Ivy!" I don't know who that is. It could be one of the dark people who try to, I know Bellatrix Lestrange, and that's pretty much it. Because who plays her? Helena Bonham Carter. I love her. Dad doesn't, though. Okay, Narcissa called out, walking towards the woman. "Narcissa," the woman replied. "It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you since Draco's first birthday," said Narcissa. "I know, it's been so long." Okay, so it isn't part of the movie. Oh, thank goodness. "How's everything with Lucius and how's Severus? I'm worried since I heard Lily died," said Ivy, worried. "He's fine, and everything with Lucius is great. And Draco can't wait to be a big brother," replied Narcissa. "You're pregnant?" asked Ivy. "Yes," replied Narcissa. I'm so happy for you." She hugs Narcissa. "Anyways, how is my godson, Draco?" Ivy asked. "He's fine. By the way, this is Septimus, Severus and Lily's son, and he's also Draco's boyfriend. He's almost 2 weeks pregnant with Draco's baby." Narcissa said, "What?" said Ivy in shock. "Don't worry, sweetheart, same." How far along are we? We can go a little bit more. "An old friend." Oh yeah, this can go quick. "An old friend. I'm speechless. Not that there's anything wrong with it. Congrats," Ivy said. "Thank you," said Septimus. "In case you were wondering who Ivy is and how she knows James, Sirius, Remus, Peter, Lily, Narcissa, Lucius, Draco, and Severus, she obviously went to Hogwarts, and she was a friend of the Marauders. James, Sirius, Remus, and Peter. And Lily." Yeah, they put in "and Lily." Even though Ivy was in Hufflepuff, she was still friends with Severus, Narcissa, and Lucius. After she graduated, she worked for the ministry and was made Draco's godmother. She was also good friends with the Weasleys, and Severus was traveling the world after she graduated. Lucius sent a letter to Severus, asking him to Draco's to be Draco's godfather. And before Severus came back, she quit her job at the ministry and went to Romania to study magical creatures. But now she's back, and there's a surprise in store for her and Severus, since the two of them were very closer than anyone else, even though Snape loved Lily. And she's, Ivy, a rare hybrid. In case you were wondering if she was a creature, and if so, what type, she's a hybrid of two different creatures, a mermaid and an animal fairy, two dangerous creatures. And she also a fourth vampire, okay, and a full-on villa. Anyway, continuing. That was a whole backstory from in parentheses. I didn't say anything until the end because I wanted to just read it. Anyway, Ivy, do you want to come and visit at Malfoy Manor for as long as you want, for old time's sake? I would love to. Oh, by the way, hello, Petunia. How's your family, and is your marriage surviving? Ivy asked. Hello, Ivy. My family is doing just fine, and my daughter's out of the hospital, and I'm pregnant for the fourth child. My marriage is surviving, replied Petunia. Good, because Vernon isn't an easy person, and I'm glad to hear that your daughter and sons are okay, and congratulations. I don't know if that was like how older women fight, like they're passive aggressive with their words. But it did sound like it. Let's go on. Said Ivy. Thanks. Anyway, we better get going. I need to get home to my kids, said Petunia. Oh, and we need to get back before the guys worry too much, said Narcissa. All right, then. You can go. I'll see you and Septimus at Malfoy Manor later. Narcissa. Bye, she said. Bye, Ivy, said Narcissa. After they all said their goodbyes, Petunia went home to her kids and Vernon. Septimus and Narcissa went back to Malfoy Manor. Later on, while the sun was setting, the doorbell rang, and Lucius went to open the door. But he didn't see anyone, but he went outside to check anyway. When he was about to go back inside, he heard a familiar voice behind him. Hi, Lucius, said the voice. Lucius turned around to see who it was, and he saw her. Ivy! Lucius said in disbelief. That one of his old friends from Hogwarts was standing right in front of him. Hey, Lucius, long time no see, said Ivy. Hi, Ivy. It's so good to see you. Again, did Narcissa see you at the mall and invited you over? Asked Lucius. Yes, she replied. Well, come in. I'm sure everyone will be happy to see you, he said, and they went inside, and she saw Severus with his back toward her. She walked up behind him and covered his eyes. Who is this? Severus said, annoyed. Take a guess, she said. Lucius and Narcissa. Take a guess, said Lucius and Narcissa at the same time. Fine, he said, still annoyed, but then, before he could guess, Ivy removed her hands and said, Don't be so annoyed, Sev. She moved in front of him so that he could see her. What the? Before Severus could finish the sentence, Ivy put a finger to his lips, and a feeling came over both of them, but they just ignored it. They then went upstairs to surprise Draco. Obviously, he was shocked, but he also cried in tears to see his godmother after 14 years. Wait, you wouldn't have known her. Wait a minute. You both are 15. You have a memory back into your, 1? I don't even remember that. I remember when I was back in maybe 5 years old. But that's pretty much it. 5 or 4. Maybe even 3, but that's it. But man, you have a good memory. I'm cold now. I need to put my sweatshirt back on. I was wearing my bunny suit tonight, so it was fun. Like the Christmas Story bunny suit. I have one of those. Then after they went to the meeting about the war between werewolves... Oh, that meeting. I didn't know there was a war against werewolves and vampires versus angels and demons. Angels and demons teaming up together. Sounds fishy. That Victor had reminded them about. At that meeting, a lot of people that they haven't seen in years were there. Even a former Hogwarts student that was very mischievous who graduated almost 8 years ago. And everyone was shocked when they saw him again because he was so different since the last time people saw him. He was so mature now. And the boy... Yes? What? I'm reading.
Ooh, what are you wearing?
Nothing.
It smells pretty manly.
My deodorant? I wear male deodorant. Is that a problem? What are you looking under my bed for? Do you think I hide a guy under my bed?
I don't know where he is.
There's no guy in here.
I can smell him.
No, it's me.
I can smell him.
This ain't Transformers. Thank you.
Did you take a shower?
No, why?
Didn't his shower run?
No, it was my sink.
What is this bang when the water goes off?
I don't know.
Are you hitting it down? Are you pushing it down?
I'm pushing it.
Are you hitting it down?
No. Ah, that's sweet. What? Ah.
What are you reading?
I'm
sorry?
Fanfiction.
I'm sorry?
Fanfiction.
Who's Stan Dixon?
Fanfiction.
Fran Nixon.
Fanfiction.
Fanfiction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's something else up here, because I heard 4 different accents.
That's mine.
I think it's mine.
No.
That's not what you're wearing.
Yes, it is.
No, because...
That is what I'm wearing.
It's unscented, isn't it?
No. There ain't no boy out here. It's just me making funny accents.
Is that window shut?
Yeah.
He ain't on the roof, is he?
No! You can come out now. He fed me a chip. That was fun. Now I lost my place. Okay. He was so mature now. The boy that was following him was his soulmate, but nobody knew that because they kept it a secret. And to Septimus and Draco's surprise, Oliver Wood and Marcus Flint, both of the former Quidditch captains, talking to each other, everyone knew them, were shocked because those two hated each other with passion. Marcus then walked up to them with Oliver. Sorry. I made a weird noise with my lips. Hey Draco, said Marcus. Hey Flint, how Nice to see you. Again? It's been so long, said Draco. I know it has. Do you and your friend or boyfriend want to come over to mine and Oliver's place before school starts? He asked. Babe, what do you think? Sure, why not? By the way, I'm Septimus, Professor Snape's son. And said Septimus. Nice to meet you, Septimus. It's nice seeing you again. Nice seeing you again, Draco. Oliver and I need to go to the meeting. See you two next week. I don't think they noticed that's Harry Potter. Septimus equals Harry Potter. They're just like, hi, hi, Septimus, nice to meet you. That's Harry Potter! But I don't think they get it, so. Anyways, I lost it again. Said Marcus. When they walked off, Draco and Septimus went to the backyard. Draco hopping to see his godson again after 2 years, since today is his and his 6 other siblings. Wait. Oh. Okay. You scared me. Other siblings' birthday. P.S. Draco's the godfather of Tyler Crumb, one of Victor Crumb's little brothers. And Tyler Crumb and his 6 other siblings are septuplets. Cool. And Tyler is some call a runt of the family, since he's smaller, skinnier, and nobody knows if he's weak or not, because since he's 3, he's never been in a physical or verbal fight before. Uncle Draco, Tyler said out loud, excited that his godfather is here, jumping into Draco's arms. He means Draco, because he can't speak properly. I mean, I think we all thought that. We were like, oh, he's so cute. Oh, hey, Ty. Draco catching the toddler with the adults during the meeting. So what's our next course of action? One of the male werewolves said. I don't know. We don't know, said Victor's dad. Well then, we need to think of something, yelled a vampire. Quiet, yelled Ivy. Don't you know what you're getting yourself into? We went to school with, and we are even friends with some of these people, until we all got busy. Think about we could be going up against people we've dated or people we talk to when times were dark in our lives, yelled Ivy. She's right, you know, said Remus Lupin. Oh, he's still alive. Oh, well, yeah. Oh, my head hurts. We could be fighting some of our closest friends, said Remus. You two are right, but what do we do? Said Mr. Crumb. That's the thing. If we talk to them, it might not work. We could end up killing or be killed by people we knew, said Stella, someone who knew everyone at the table, because Professor Minerva McGonagall raised her after Minerva's friend Emma died, and said that she had to take care of her daughter, Stella, and she also found her soulmate when she was in the 5th grade. Also, her soulmate is 10 years older than her. Woof. 5th grade, what grade were you in? When I turned into 5th grade, right when I got to 5th grade, I turned 10. So, oh no. So he was 20, or her was 20. After meeting a week later at Marcus and Oliver's house, before school started. So, how come Professor Snape never mentioned you or never put you into Hogwarts? Asked Oliver. Well, said Septimus, starting to explain that he was Harry Potter, but James Potter was not his real father, and that Lily kept him away from Severus, and that after all those years, he was reunited with his dad, and that Draco was his soulmate. Please don't tell anyone, said Draco. We won't, but it's not close to impossible. The percentage of finding your soulmate is 76 now, because more and more people are finding their soulmate, including Flint and myself, said Oliver. Then why does no one report it? Asked Draco. Either they don't want anyone to know that, like Flint and myself, or they just don't know that the percentage is higher now, replied Oliver. Oh, okay. That makes more sense now, said Septimus and Draco in unison. Then everyone went quiet for a moment, and then started laughing. Oh, me and my friends be like, ugh, ads. Well, guys, I'm gonna stop it here. It's already almost been 37 minutes, so I'm not gonna burp. I need to stop doing that. Well, guys, I hope you really liked this one. I know you liked the Vampire Werewolf series, so I hope this actually clears up a lot. Please let me know what you want to see next time. I did do a Mary in chat one. It was my last video, so you can see it. If you click my video, like home videos, you're on my home page, go to my videos, and you'll see it. It's right there. It's going to be right under this one. And I recommend it if you actually really want a love story between Chat Noir and Marinette. And when I started reading it, it almost made me cry. It was that good. I recommend you reading it while I'm saying the voices and doing that. You could be on your phone while you're listening to it on your computer. Or vice versa. Anyways, guys, I love you guys so much. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. Thank you guys for everything you do for me.